Power Level 1. What I want you to do is to start every day checking in with your alignment. If you're unsure of the alignment checks, go back to the alignment video. That's step 1. Step 2 is rolling your piriformis. So in your kit for pelvic power, you received a tiny pinky ball. Elena's going to put it under her right hip and press down into it and cross her right ankle to her left knee and then roll side to side. So just swing the hips side to side. You're looking for a tender spot, and then all you do is hold and breathe. And really, I'm going to leave it up to your exploration, but basically you're trying to get the outer hip, a muscle called your piriformis. It tends to grip postpartum, particularly from holding children and thrusting our hips forward. And also when the pelvic floor is weak, this muscle needs to release. So you're going to release the piriformis, the right and the left side before each workout. You can go to the other side. Feel free to hold this more. And if you're having low back pain, hip pain, pelvic pain, just start rolling with the ball. You hold it and breathe, and you're trying to release the muscular tension. Take a nice deep breath. Good. Then she's going to release the ball. We're going to start with the workout, laying on your back. You're looking for a nice neutral pelvis. So what that means is that you have a little space under your low back and your pubic bone and hip bones are level. If your neck is tense, you want to prop your head with 1 or 2 cushions, or even a pillow at home would be fine. Let the knees open just a little bit. Take a nice deep breath to begin. And as she exhales, she's going to lift the pelvic floor to engage the abdominals. Breathe in, a nice deep breath. And then exhale, lift the pelvic floor. When you lift the pelvic floor properly, you'll be able to feel the abdominals tighten. That may take practice, but with time, you'll feel the abdominals draw in. The next exercise is a little imprint. If you have a block or a pillow, place it between your knees. Breathe in, she's in neutral. Lift the pelvic floor, then imprint, which means pressing the back to the mat just a little bit, and then inhale, release. Now with diastasis recti, you do not want to see any doming or pooching in the abdominal wall. So when you engage the pelvic floor properly, there will be no pushing out or pooching here. Continue with this. So it's the pelvic floor, the obliques, and then the transversus as well. Inhale, release. 2 more. This should feel really good to your low back if your low back is tight. 1 more time. Inhale, neutral. Lift the pelvic floor and imprint. The next exercise is a hip roll. So inhale, neutral. Exhale, lift the pelvic floor, imprint, and then roll the hips up into the air. She's squeezing the glutes and hamstrings. You can squeeze something between your knees. Breathe in, and then roll down top to bottom. I'm just going to remove the head pad when her hips go up. So removing the head pad. Inhale, exhale, imprint, and roll up. Your glutes, your hamstrings are working. You do want your ribs down. Breathe in. And then roll down through the low back. So try that again. Yeah. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, imprint, and roll up. You're trying to sequentially get every part of the vertebrae down as she rolls down. Very good. 1 more time. Neutral. Exhale, imprint, and roll up. Breathe in. And then rolling down. The next exercise is called a hip lift. I want you to stay in a neutral pelvis the whole time, so you're not rolling up anymore. Breathe in, big breath. Lift the pelvic floor and just pick your hips up in neutral. Good, you can go a little higher. Breathe in, and then arch your back so the buttocks is the first thing to touch down. The abdominals are pulling in. Very good. Breathe in. You're picking the hips up. It's called a hip lift. The ribs are down. Breathe in, beautiful. And then arch your back to lower. Good, 1 more time. This is teaching your body how to be in neutral. Often we tuck our tail under. 1 more time. Exhale to lift up. Breathe out. Breathe in, stay, squeeze, and then arch to lower down. Beautiful. I'm going to take the block away. The knee drop is next. You breathe in. Drop the right knee to the side of the room as you tighten the abdominals. Inhale, back to center. Now I'm looking that your ribs are down, so you might feel like you're imprinting a little bit. Drop the knee to the side of the room. Inhale, center. If you cannot keep your ribs down, I want you to lift your head and shoulders up. You can put a pillow or a cushion underneath. It's really important that you're dropping the ribs down, especially with that abdominal separation. One more time. Exhale. Good. And then left leg goes. Breathe in. Exhale, drop the left knee to the side of the room. Inhale, center. Good. She's drawing the ribs in. She's lifting the pelvic floor before every single exercise. So that's what you're trying to reteach your body in pelvic power, is pelvic floor first, exercise second. One more time. Exhale to drop. Very good. Center. Please straighten the right leg. So it's called a leg lift. The leg is parallel to start. You breathe in. This time I want you to imprint a little bit, pull in your abdominals and lift the right leg up. Go a little higher, just to knee height. Flex the foot. Inhale to lower down. Pull in the abdominals and lift the right leg up. Yep, keep going. I'm going to bring the head pad back. Lift your head up. Good, and you may find that you have to put a thicker block or a thicker cushion under your head. Make sure the neck and the shoulders are comfortable during your exercise. One more time. Her abdominals are engaging. That's it. Turn out the leg and try 5 more with the leg turned out. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. So the hip flexor is working here. If you happen to get any popping during this exercise, I want you to turn the leg to avoid the popping. You want to feel your abdominals with no stress in your neck. Good. Bend the knee, please, and lower it down. Left leg goes, other side, straighten the knee, pull in your abdominals, and lift the leg up. A little higher. Pull the leg up. That's it. Inhale, lower. Exhale, she lifts. Good. Her abdominals are engaged. The neck and the shoulders are relaxed. 2 more with the leg in parallel. Very good. One more time. And then turn out the leg for 5. Turn out the leg. Lead with the heel. You want to feel a slight touching of the low back to the mat, unless it's causing you any stress. 3 more. That's it. Your breath out is like you're blowing out 1 birthday candle. It's a very directive breath. 1 more time. Beautiful. Bend your knee and lower it down. Excellent. Take a nice deep breath. Good. So in between each exercise, you may want to pause if you have time and just take a little breather. She's going into what's called dead bug, which is an exercise that strengthens the core. Really good for the diastasis recti and to strengthen your core postpartum. Breathe in. Exhale, imprint first, lift 1 leg up and then the other, bending your knees. If you get any doming at all, you may want to skip this exercise. Reach arms into the air, breathe in, lift the pelvic floor, pull in the abdominals, reach opposite arm and leg, that's right, and then inhale, center, and then exhale to reach. So she's reaching 1 arm overhead, 1 leg out. You don't want any clicking or popping in the hips, and you want the abdominals to flatten. 4 more for 4, for 3. If this is too much for you, just leave the hands out. If you could show them with the hands beside you, because it is a lot to coordinate. You would just do 1 leg at a time as the leg presses out. 2 more, both sides. She's doing a great job holding the abdominals in. That's it. And last one, lower 1 leg down and the other, and release. 1 more piece with the diastasis recti is the rib cage placement. So reach your arms up overhead. As the ribs drop, or you want the ribs to drop as the arms go overhead. Exhale, reach the arms overhead as far as the ribs stay down. Inhale to reach the arms up. I'm actually going to have her hold a block. Let's hold it lengthwise. So she's got a little bit of connection here. You're looking at the ribs drop because the ribs connect to the hips with the abdominal muscles. So it's not only the transversus that's affected with diastasis recti, but it's the oblique muscles. So we want all of them to be working as her arms reach overhead. 1 more time. That's really nice. So this is flat and beautiful. Very good. Thank you. I'm going to have you turn to the right side, please. Maybe scooch down a little bit. And you don't need the head pad anymore. She's holding her head with the bottom hand, or we could put a block there. Tuck your knees up. Reaching the left arm out in front. Inhale, reach the arm overhead, and then circle open with the palm to the sky. So this I call arm circles. It's a great stretch for your pecs, especially if you're breastfeeding or if you're working at the computer a lot. You want to stay for a few breaths. The knees are tucked up, and then exhale to return. Continue 2 more. You want to try to touch the floor the whole time. You may notice that your shoulder is too tight, that you can't touch the floor. It's okay, keep practicing. Eventually you'll get that flexibility. And it's really the upper back flexibility that I'm looking for, the upper back and the pecs. Exhale to open. Beautiful. Take a nice deep breath and return. If your neck is uncomfortable in this position, I want you to put a pillow or a block under your head. Her hand is reaching forward. Actually, that was perfect because that will keep your hips stable for the next exercise. She'll breathe in and then open the top knee to the sky as she breathes out, and then inhale, release. Now I want your pelvis nice and neutral. So what that means is it feels like you're sticking out your tush a little bit. And I want your ribs flush to your body. Think of the knee reaching forward and lifting up. These muscles connect to your pelvic floor. So it's really important that you're strengthening your hip muscles when your pelvic floor or your low back feels weak. One more time. Good. And do the opposite, please. So knees touch and lift the foot to the sky. It's like an internal rotation and lower. So we'll do 5 of those. That may stretch some of the muscles in the hips as well. 2 more. Good. Her ribs are back. Her shoulders are stacked. One more time. Good. Straighten the leg out, please. Breathe and lift the top leg up and exhale, lower. Now this one's a little harder to get. You want the muscles in the side of the hip. So I want you to roll your hip forward, but send your leg back, please. Send it back to me more. Good. And think of your leg being really straight. You want to feel it more in the side of your hips, not in the front. So push through the heel may help as you lift. Good. Her ribs are flush, her shoulders are stacked. You want to do about 10 to 12 of them with each exercise. 2 more. Pulling in the abdominals. That's it. One more time. The next exercise, second exercise here is circles. So lift the top leg up, please, and then circle 5 times forward. And little baby circles are really going to fire up the hip muscles, sending the leg back to me a little bit more. Yes. And then other direction. So you can do 5 repetitions of these, 5 forward and 5 back. And think of it reaching behind you so you get more glute maximus rather than in front of you. One more time. Very good. Okay, straighten the bottom leg, please. She's going to bend the top knee to the sky and bring it in front or behind the body. This one you may wait if you're having any pelvic pain, but she's going to lift the bottom leg up, working the inner thigh, inhale to lower. So abdominals in, pelvic floor lifts, and then inner thigh is working. Exhale to press. Good, you're reaching through the bottom leg with a straight leg. You want to feel the upper inner thigh. You don't want to feel any pain in the groin or the low back. 2 more. Pulling in the abdominals, that's it. One more time. Beautiful. She can tuck the knees up. She's going to push herself up and go to the other side, repeating all of those exercises on the other side. So laying down, holding your head, tucking your knees up, reach the right arm in front, inhale, go overhead, and exhale, circle open. You might notice one side is tighter than the other. Stay and take a few deep breaths, and then exhale to return. Good. Let's just do 2 more. You can even push forward for a stretch, reach overhead, and then you feel a great opening. Your heart lifts to the sky, the shoulders release. Take a nice deep breath, and then return. She's not jutting her ribs forward, and her hips are stacked. One more time. Very good. Take a nice deep breath, and return. Good. Holding the hand in front is helpful to keep the hips still. You could lift the bottom rib a little bit for me, please. Yeah. So you want to activate the underside of your abdominals. Reach the leg forward and lift it up as you breathe out. Sorry, feet touch. And lift the top knee to the sky for the clam. Yep, inhale, lower. And exhale, lift. Good. The ribs are lifted a little bit for Elena. Yes, there we go. And then she's working the hip muscles, Remember, really important that you're neutral in your pelvis. So notice if you're tucking under at all, you want to feel like you're spreading your sits bones and then opening the leg. So you're reaching it forward and lifting up. 2 more. Very good. 1 more. And the next exercise, she'll straighten the top leg out. Push into the heel will help you and kick it behind you a little bit. Lift the leg up and lower it down. Exhale, lift. Good, her abdominals are held in. Pelvic floor is lifting. You can also think hip bone to hip bone squeezing together as you lift the leg. This hip fires a little bit better than the other side. She's activating the outer thigh, and you can really feel that and see that. There's a little indentation that occurs when she lifts the leg. Very good. Hold it up for the circles. So you hold it up and circle forward for 5. That's it. 4, 3. She's reaching through the heel. 2, 1. Other direction. And 5. Kick it back. 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Inner thigh exercise. Straighten the bottom leg out, please. Bend this knee to the sky, bringing it in front or behind. That's it. Breathe in. And then lift the bottom leg up. This is for the inner thighs. Inhale to lower. Again, one side may be weaker than the other because of holding children on one hip. It weakens these muscles. So don't be surprised if one side feels different than the other. Straighten the knee. 3 more. Very good. Push through the leg. 2 more. 1 more time. Beautiful. Very good. I'm going to have her go belly down. I do want to place a pad under her hips. At home, you can put, go ahead, lift your hips, please. You can put cushions or pillows under the belly button and resting your head down. Yeah, on your hands, please. For heel squeeze prone. She'll bend the knees and push the heels together. Go ahead, bend your knees and flex your feet. That's it. Good. It's important that you feel your pubic bone on the mat. If you don't feel it, I want you to cushion under your hip bones more so that you can tilt your pelvis backwards. That will engage the glutes and stretch the front of the body. Your upper body should be relaxed. Take a nice deep breath. And then squeeze the heels, squeeze the glute maximus, pushing the pubic bone down. Inhale, release. Good. Your knees can stay down for this one. Squeeze the heels, squeeze the buttocks. You can see that tilting backwards. Inhale, release. Good. Squeeze the heels, squeeze the buttocks. These movements may seem really small, but they're extremely effective in reducing low back pain and healing diastasis recti and reducing any pain and discomfort from C-sections as well. So you're stretching the front of the hips and engaging the glutes. 3 more. Exhale, press for 3. Very good. Release. 2 more. Good. 1 more time. Breathe out. Good. Beautiful. Okay, she's going to push up to hands and knees. We can do the abdominal pumps on all 4s as well. So on all 4s, remember in the alignment check, I want a neutral pelvis. So it almost feels like you're sticking your tush out too much, but it creates this nice curve in the low back. Just bring your hands back a little bit, please. Soften the elbows, holding your head up. The abdominals may feel like they're hanging right now. I want you to pull the belly button up, but don't round your back. So inhale, release the abdominals, let them go, and then exhale, pull the belly button up. These are the abdominal pumps, just in a different position. So exhale, pull the belly button up. Inhale, release, and pull the belly button up. Good. Again, you'll do 10 to 100, especially if you have that abdominal separation or you feel like your abdominals are quite weak, then you'll really like this exercise. 2 more. Exhale, pull up. 1 more time. Exhale, pull up. Good. Cat stretches next. Breathe in, round up, drop your head. Look at your belly button. This is just a nice stretch for your back. Take a nice deep breath. And then release tail to head, gently looking forward. Breathe in deeply. Exhale to round up. Whenever your back feels tight, this is a great exercise. You're stretching. Breathe in. And release tail to head. Awesome. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale to round up. The head drops. Breathe in. Deep stretch. And release. Good. The next exercise is called thread the needle. She'll reach the right arm through and lay on the right side of your shoulder. The left hand could stay there or bring the left hand to your low back. Push the hand into the back and roll the shoulder open. I'm just going to have you move the hand down a little bit more, please. Good. What you're trying to do is twist your upper back. Often when you have low back pain, it's because the upper back is tight. So you're trying to move that area. Take a nice deep breath. Good. When you're ready, push up and go to the other side. If it hurts your neck at all, please avoid the exercise. She threads the needle, reach the left arm through, laying on the shoulder. Good. Take a nice deep breath. The hand can stay down if you have neck pain, or it can push into your sacrum here, rolling your shoulder open. Take a nice deep breath. Very good. When you're ready, push up to hands and knees. Sit in child's pose, please. Open your knees and stretch back. Good. If your knees don't care for this, you can lay on your back and tuck your knees into your chest. This is a great place to practice your pelvic floor exercises. So make sure that your head's comfortable, your back is stretched. We'll just start with a nice deep breath. Breathe in and breathe out. So the quick flicks are that faster contraction of the pelvic floor, and faster I mean 1 to 3 seconds, so that you're contracting the pelvic floor, practicing for when you cough, sneeze, or jump, or run, that there's no leaking going on. So you breathe in. As you exhale, lift the pelvic floor 10 times. So it's a strong, forceful exhale, and she's pulling up. Remember, it's in front of the tailbone to in front of the pubic bone in a gentle lift up. Do about 5 more times. Pull up 5, 4, and I'm feeling her low back, because remember when I said that those muscles connect here? You can feel those muscles contract when you're looking for it. One more time. And then you'll lift and hold the pelvic floor up. So take a nice deep breath. As you exhale, lift the pelvic floor and hold it up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Good. Take a nice deep breath. Walk your hands to the right, stretching your waist. She's stretching into the latissimus dorsi, it's called, so the rib cage here. Take a nice deep breath. Come back to center, go the other way. Really important to stretch the side that you hold the children on, because that area really tightens up. Take a nice deep breath. Beautiful. Come back to center. Come onto hands and knees, please. Push yourself up. Neutral pelvis. Glide your right leg back and press it back as you tighten the core, and then bend the knee in. And then other side. Exhale to press. Your first motion is gliding the leg back and then bending the knee in, gliding the leg back. Good. Then you can lift the leg if you want a little bit more of a challenge, and lower in. Good. Exhale to lift and lower. Exhale to lift. Good. Keep going side to side. So again, she's working glutes and hamstrings, trying to keep the pelvis still. If it bothers your wrists, you can roll the mat up and put your hands on the wrist. Just a few more, 2 more. One more time. Good. Let's stretch your hip flexors. Bring your right leg forward in between the hands. And you can go into pigeon pose, sure. And then release your head down. That's fine. So if this is too much for you, I want you to bend the back knee to help you out. But I want you to stretch the hips here. Take a nice deep breath in. She went into pigeon pose, which is certainly fine. So the front knee is bent. If it's too much for you, just skip it. One more breath. Good. Push up to hands and knees. Try the other side while we're here. So bring the left foot forward to the wrist and glide the leg back. Good. You can also prop your hip if you're feeling very tight. So you would put it under the front leg to give you a little bit of a release there. You want to show them that? Okay. Okay. Bring one foot forward now for a lunge, please. So just the foot would come up here. There we go. Good. So this is the lunge. Your foot comes in between your hands and you're pushing your hips forward. You'll see when we get to the other side, I'm looking right now at her left hip opening and stretching. Take a nice deep breath. You may want to hold that for a long period of time. You could also take your hands to your front thigh and lean back. Pull in your abdominals like a little bit of an imprint and feel the front hip stretching. One more breath. Good. And switch to the other side. So on this side, you'll be able to see her foot comes forward, that you're trying to tuck the hip under, squeezing the buttocks, opening the front of the hip, and breathing deeply. You do want your ribs to shift back slightly, so think of a little bit of an imprint here. Watch that your knee doesn't go over the ankle too far, causing knee pain. So this looks pretty good. One more breath. Good. And then come to a seated position, please. So 2 abdominal exercises. One will be over the ball. So scooch forward more, please. And your upper back will go over the ball. Keep going. A little bit more. Good. She's first going to just lean the upper back into the ball. Bend your knees and hands behind your head. Really good for abdominal separation or to begin strengthening your core postpartum. She's going to inhale, go over the ball. Did you see that quiver? And then exhale, dropping the ribs, lifting the pelvic floor, engaging the abdominals. That's high enough. Inhale, good. Open your knees a little bit, please. Walk your feet forward. And then she drops the chin, draws the ribs down, and engages. If you don't have a ball, I'm just going to put the block back, so don't go as far. If you don't have a ball, you can use a foam roller, or a block. 2 more. Inhale to reach over. Exhale, lift the pelvic floor, drawing the ribs down. You can do 10 to 12 repetitions. Make sure you're not doming or pushing out and that you're lifting the pelvic floor before you curl up. One more time. Good. I do want you to scooch down a little bit more so it's more in your upper back. Scooch down that way. That's it. Okay, I'm going to have you hold the stretch if your neck's okay. She'll take 2 deep breaths. So she's stretching the pec, opening the heart. This should feel really nice. You do want to support the head with a block or so. Whenever you have the abdominal separation, I want you to turn to the side before pushing up. Think of it when you're getting out of bed, when you're getting off the ground, anything that you're doing, turn to the side. Because if you were to sit up in this position, it continually pushes out and can make the separation worse. So to get up, gently turn to your side and push yourself up. The next abdominal exercise is going to be seated, facing the side with the flex band around your feet and holding here. Now this may be very, very challenging, so I saved it to the end because you can certainly skip it in the beginning, but with the band, it will give you great support for your abdominal region. She's starting nice and tall. Breathe in. Lift the pelvic floor and then roll the pelvis back. She's engaging the abdominals, rocking the pelvis back, and then inhale to sit up nice and tall. Exhale, continue with that. You want to make sure this is not pushing out. If you feel like it's pushing out, go back to the pelvic floor exercises and continually work the abdominal pumps until you feel strong enough to do this roll back. Inhale, just release your shoulders a little bit when you do it. Exhale to roll the pelvis back, the shoulders drop, beautiful. Inhale to come back up. And 3 more. Exhale to pull in, drop the shoulders. Good job, like that. 2 more. Exhale, she rolls the pelvis away, the shoulders drop. Really challenging for the abdominals in the beginning. 1 more time. Exhale to rock back. Very good. Sit up nice and tall. Go ahead, release. Cross your legs and then just take a stretch forward. Walk your fingertips forward, stretching your low back and your hips. Take a nice deep breath in. So think of doing pelvic power 2 to 3 times a week and for the next 2 weeks, and then moving on to level 2. 1 more breath. And then sit on your tush and roll yourself up, bottom to top. Beautiful. Thank you.